Hello beautiful souls, it's Mary Rose from PsychicSoulmateReading.com. In this video, I will be giving us a 3-card tarot reading for our week, April 1st to April 8th. And it doesn't matter even if you happen to be watching this way after that date. The message, the reading is still intended for you because you're watching it, and that's the way spirit guides work. And if some things are not quite resonating with you, don't worry, because time has to pass and some things have to unfold in your life for the reading, for the message to take effect. And that's the way it works. Sometimes we have to just save the video and watch it later and it'll all make sense. And if things do make sense and things are resonating with you, visit back because there's another message for you. It's the way it always works in my readings. I always advise my clients to tape your readings, and when you do that, you'll notice that they made sense to you then when you got the reading, but then you listen to it like months and months, even years later, and the reading really, like, it makes sense for you then too, like later. So that's the way it works. And can you believe it? We're in April, spring weather up ahead for all of us that are in this part of the world. I'm so happy. Okay, and so the cards that I'm going to be working with are the Inner Child Tarot. Okay, I just love these cards. I bought these cards maybe about 2 years ago, and you know what? I was going to donate them because I do that every so often. I do like a bit of a spring clean on all my decks and books and everything, and that's what I was doing. You know, I just moved. As you can see, I know you all love my kitchen. That's why I'm doing the reading here. And I just figured I like the background too, so it's all lit up. So anyways, I was going to donate this deck because I thought, you know, I haven't touched it in about 2 years. So I said, even though it's beautiful, but it's just not calling me. That's why I, you know, thought, I think I'm going to donate. Then I just took a look at it and I said, no, this is, now is the time to work with these cards. And they're fairy tale tarot. And you know how I feel about that. It's just so, it brings out, it's their inner child. It's about the inner child. And I got the workbook too. And so I'm going to take a look at that more and go deeper because that was my intention 2 years ago. And so, you know, like I said, sometimes we do things for ourselves in the future, you know, and where our future self says, thank you. So I was thanking my past self for saving these cards and getting these cards, and you know, so I'm so happy to read them for you today. Okay, so I got myself a cup of tea. Make sure you have something to drink because this video might be a little lengthy. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm just going to channel whatever comes through. Okay, so I've already dealt the cards and placed them out here. I like to do it before because it does save time. And yeah, so the first card that came up is the Guardian of Tarot. Sorry, the Guardian of Swords. And as you can see, this card, well, he's a warrior, is what he is, and he's a knight actually, and it's a Knight of Swords, is what it is. And the Guardian of Swords is someone that is very much of like a fighter, someone that is, well, he makes things happen, he makes things work in life. Like he pushes himself to the limit. That's what he does. A sword can be used in a positive way or it could be used in a negative way. That's why I always say, and he's using it to his defense and for whatever he needs to do to conquer the battle of whatever it is. And he's using everything. He's using his inner strength. He's using all of his tools. He's using everything that he knows, everything that he has, all of his knowledge, right? So that's what it's saying about you. So right now, you are working really hard at something in your life. You're working on something, you know, something big, like something you've been feeling like you've been pushing. And I know I've heard your comments and your questions, and you know, why is 2019 going through? Why am I going through this? Why is it so challenging? And with the Mercury retrograde, in which we're out of, but we still have a little bit of a shadow of it. You know, it doesn't have to. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be like that. I mean, yes. Trust me, I know what you're thinking. It's like you're feeling. It's like, you know, things happen, yes, but you know, you can choose to either be in that state of getting upset and being, you know, very upset and dramatic about it and just feeling the emotions. Yes, feel the emotions, but feeling all the sorts of anger, whatever you want to call it, or just why is this happening? Or you can just say, do I want to feel like that, or do I want to just nothing, don't do anything about it, like don't feel anything, just release it and just move on. Like you have the choice. Ask yourself those questions. Do I feel like getting upset, or do I feel like not? Really? Who's telling you got to get upset? Yes, things get us angry. Things get us sad. Yes, things make us feel the way we're going to feel. Yes. But you can choose how to react with it. Do you really feel like it? Make that choice within yourself. I know it's something that you may have to look into and ponder and just say, why is this happening? Trust me, I know what that is. When I say that, because I'm going through that, I'm kind of laughing because for the past 3 weeks, I had the Mercury retrograde, and we finally went forward on the 28th of March. So if you're watching this during the time that I've uploaded this, of course, Mercury retrograde is when everything kind of goes a little haywire, and with electronics, communication devices, aviation, or those kind of things. It's just miscommunications of a lot of stuff. And we sometimes have to, it's a challenge for us to look deep. Okay, so the past 3 weeks, like I've just moved, and as I said, if you've been following me, you know that my whole move and everything what I went through. Past 3 weeks, I have been doing lots of work on my place. I've been cleaning and working, cleaning, and I've been pushing, and so many things just seems to go wrong here. Seems to, like I choose to be. I say this. I could have a meltdown, or I can just let it go. And so that's why I'm kind of chuckling a little bit about it, because that makes total sense. And so it's about pushing through, and just know that it's going to end. So things have finally shifted, so it's kind of like I was thinking at the time, when is it ever going to end? When is life just going to finally become normal? Because I feel like I'm working so much, and you might be feeling like you're working so much, you're putting so much effort into something, you're working so hard. When is it ever going to come through? Like all of the above of what I mentioned, you're feeling all of these things, but trust me, it's frustrating, but it doesn't have to be. It is what it is. You have to just go with the flow. It's all a part of the challenges that we go through, so we can learn. And we all go through it, because when you do that, something like miracles do happen. Like, we go through stuff to grow, and there's tools that you can use. Like, I work with a lot of things to help me cope. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that I do, and that'll probably be another video of a tutorial or something of how to release stress and let go. But and just move forward. I'll talk about that more later, but right now I just want you to know that everything that's going on, you have this. And I know I said that in the last video, and I'm saying it again to you. You have this. You do. Okay, and so the second card is Aladdin, the Magic Lamp. Do you remember that? Reminds me of Aladdin, the movie that came out, the cartoon. And Aladdin, the Magic Lamp. Okay, so if we remember Aladdin, right? Aladdin was basically make 3 wishes. Like, you make 3 wishes, and the genie comes out. You rub the lamp, and the genie comes out. And so this is basically saying that you need to step forward. You need to be more assertive. You need to assert yourself into believing in who you are and trusting that. And actually, that makes total sense, because on Friday, which will be the 5th, we have a new moon in Aries, and we are in the sun of Aries too. So that is a double Aries, influence. Aries is the sign of, it's a time of new beginnings. It's just like spring. It's just starting things off, fresh starts. It's assertiveness, and also one thing it could be, with Aries moon, you might feel a little bit argumentative. Like, you might feel a little bit like, stirring things up, or, something is bothering you. You might feel like, I'm tired of waiting. That's the negative side, but it also, Aries moon says, oh, I am a doer. I'm going to do call of action. I'm doing it. I'm here. I'm there. I'm going forward. I'm asserting myself. Or maybe you need to do that. Maybe it's pushing you that you need to take the first step. And if you're asking, and if your inquiry is about love, then it's just telling you got to take the steps about love. And a lot of times we have to step forward. Sometimes we hold on to people from our past, feeling that they're going to come back. And we have the fairy tale, just like, well, fairy tale is here. I'm working with fairy tale, and fairy tale. It kind of keeps us in that that frame, which is kind of like, oh, they are our beautiful twin flame and soulmate, and they're going to come back, and we're going to ride in the sunset, and it's going to be beautiful. That's a fairy tale, okay? Because you don't have to wait around for anybody. So that's what it's telling you, to step forward. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. What I'm saying is that you don't need to be waiting. You don't need to be waiting so long, because the more you wait, the more you push the love in your life, you know. Also, the Aladdin, the magic lamp, has a lot to do with the law of attraction. So setting your intentions for what you would like making a vision board and saying, you know, I would like, I'm going to place my order. And you know, you want to believe and really put that effort and that energy into it, because it works, you know. A lot of times I don't use a vision board. I use it in my head, you know, and it comes just like that. I'm not saying that that's like whatever works for you. I like the vision board, like you can Google it. But I like to just say, well, this is what I like, and then this is what I need, and you know, sure enough, it'll happen like that. Or if it's for my highest good. Not that it's like, I don't believe in manipulating anything that is not for my highest good, because it never works. Always ask and put the intention for what you want that is for your highest good. Like you are looking for love, you say, I am looking for the right love to enter my life that is in for my highest good. Someone that will make me happy, you know, and just all the things that, not, you don't have to put a description. I mean, you can, but I would say more of the personality, or the personality kind of traits is more effective kind of thing, you know, because, you know, we all come in different shapes and sizes, and you might get involved with somebody that is your beloved true love, and that's totally different, you know, person than you thought that you were going to get involved with. That it's not your type, and you thought, wow, how did that person enter my life? Oh, that's so shocking. And yeah, that person just enters your life and just changes it right around. So you go through that whole transformation, right? And that is what that's what's meant to happen. So that's what the Aladdin means. So that's what you can do for yourself. As far as for work goes, you know, sometimes we need to push a little bit harder. We need to set the intention for, you know, for abundance, but for what is that we are looking for that makes us happy. Like you can say, I want to be a millionaire, but you know, you're setting the intention for that. That's great. It's beautiful. But you got to not put any, you got to look at, how can I say, like you don't want to be working like 24/7 to become that millionaire. You want to have enough. Like I say like this, I have enough. I have everything I need. And when you know, that's the best affirmation that you can use. I am enough. I have enough. Sorry, I have enough. And when you feel, and you put the intention there, like, and you feel with emotion that you have enough, believe it or not, you attract more. And when you put the love into your heart, because you know what the secret to the law of attraction and manifesting is? I bet you don't know. Love. Love is the secret, and it doesn't matter, it's just feeling love for yourself, love for others, love for just feeling, because we're made out of love, just feeling love, just feeling like you're enough. You don't have to be perfect. Not trying to be perfect. That's the whole thing. The more we try to become perfect, or we try to fit in, or we try to make it too perfect, then we're actually in our mind, and we're not going to attract anything. So that's why I said, like vision boards, sometimes I want to make it too perfect. That's me. See, I always like to make things perfect. And trust me, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, you know, when it comes to real life, you don't want to, when I say real life, I mean like, you know, doing like a vision board, or doing some kind of, you know, something like a project, like I'm talking to you. It's not perfect, but I feel compelled, and I'm just doing this with my heart and talking to a phone, but I know you're there and you're listening to me and watching me, or you know, whatever. I'm not putting any expectations about it. I'm just putting it out there. So if that helps you, just know, you know, imperfection is better than perfection. Honestly, I know we always want to try to better ourselves. That's great, but we're all different. So imperfection is better, and not trying so hard to make it perfect, because the more you try to make things perfect, trust me, you fail. It doesn't work out that way. It doesn't, because you actually push yourself. You just got to go with the flow. You just got to go, all right, whatever happens, it is meant to happen. Not to mean that you don't have to work for it, because being proactive, and that's the next card, is Beauty and the Beast. Remember that storyline? I was really happy when this card came up, because Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite cartoons, or Disney movies. And now these are not Disney made though. These are not Disney cards, but they are like off the old fairy tales, you know, and they're very old cards. And as you can see, the cardstock is really, well, it's not a review on these cards, but the cardstock is really thin. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't work with them, because I thought, oh, I'll put them aside and work with them whenever I have time, but I'm going to work with them now. So Beauty and the Beast is actually the same thing what I was talking about the imperfection, looking beyond. And actually there's an owl here, and as you can see, the owl's right here, and the owl is seeing beyond the illusion. So when we see owls, it means we're looking deeper than just what we see than in the surface. So we're kind of like looking deeper. So as you remember the storyline with Belle and the Beast, you know, she saw deeper of him than what he showed the world, because, you know, he had basically, he was a beast. He was a big beast, and he was cursed by the sword. Well, you know the movie if you've watched it. And so she saw deeper. She just fell in love with him, and he fell in love with her, and she was you know, she used her positive energy, and she was just very like assertive to him. Like, she didn't care. She just said it the way it was. And, you know, he was like, wow, she's standing up to me. How could she do that? And he just felt her energy, you know, and so they just fell in love. They were meant to be. So that's what's like with Beauty and the Beast. It's like you have to put up with the little things that are going on right now. And, you know, it may feel like it's just a trying time, but get your mind off of it. Like, I'm going to say, find yourself a hobby or something. Find something that makes you feel happy. Remember I was talking about love? Well, do something that you love to do. You know, gardening. If you're a gardener, you could do some gardening and work with that. Like, that's a beautiful thing, and it just helps you feel at peace. I know I feel really at peace when I do any kind of, well, I don't have a garden, but I usually work with plants, and I used to have a garden years ago, so it's very peaceful. Or going out into nature, taking a class, doing some new things with yourself, doing some new stuff, like just getting out there and changing it up, like, you know, doing something for yourself that makes you feel really good. Okay, and when you do that, you raise your vibration, you feel happy. You know, I'm not saying to ignore your feels. I'm not saying that you should just sweep it underneath the carpet and just say, you know, que sera, sera, I'm just going to do my own thing and I don't care, I'm just going to sweep it. No, I'm not saying that. Feel your feels. Yeah, we feel it, okay? It comes through, we go, okay, I got that, I feel it. Is that a part of me? Is that who I am? Am I really, is that me? No, it's not, because who you really are is love and joy. And yeah, we do have some moments, you know, some of us, you know, and I'm speaking from experience, PTSD, and, you know, some traumas that have happened, memories come up. Yes, I do know that. I do know that. And, you know, I am not telling you that you can't, what you're feeling is not real, because we do feel these things, and these things are real, but you can choose, you can turn it right around. You can just go right around. You can just turn a bad mood into a good mood. That's all I'm saying, you know, and when we do that, we practice this often, we calm that beast that was here, we calm it down, and he turns right around, you know. The beast will turn into the handsome prince, you know. And, you know, even with other people, when you see someone, when someone's having a bad day and they're very negative and they're very you know, argumentative to you or something, like, you know what, just, you know, you don't have to take it. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that when I say you don't have to take it, you just know and trust that that person is just having a bad day, and you got to just turn the channel. You know, like I love Joel Osteen, and there's one quote that he says, and I always live by, and I say, you know, if something's getting you down, there's a way to, I have it in my phone, but the one thing I remember is, that I can remember offhand, is turn the channel. So basically, when a memory comes up, you feel it, you can't change it though, but what you do is you change of thinking about it. Just turn the channel and say, okay, whatever. And so that's what you do when there's negativity amongst certain people. Someone cuts you off on traffic. Someone is just really mean, because there's a lot of, here in Toronto where I'm at, there's a lot of road rage. There is. I'm happy that I moved out of it. I mean, I still drive amongst it, but I don't even hear any traffic, So anyways, I hear the road rage. I used to hear the road rage. I used to hear cursing, and I used to hear, there used to be accidents outside my house because there was so much of, I'm in a hurry, I gotta get here, I gotta get there. It's like, and it was rubbing off on me. It was making me in a hurry, in a rush. And, I just felt like I was kind of like, it was like detaching itself on me. So that's what happens. Like, it's kind of like a cold virus. When there's negativity amongst other people, it tends to attach to you, and there's ways to get rid of that. Like, one thing I like to do is, when I feel like there's some stuff in my aura of someone else's energy, I take a salt bath. I do chanting, I meditate. I work with crystals and essential oils, certain blends that help to vibrate me on a higher level, so I can offset that and release it. But there's just different things off the tip of my tongue that I can think of, right now, of how to do that. But what you need to do is not let that affect you, because that's what I'm trying to say, is the more you try to go against the current, you're actually going to bring the hurricane towards you. So what you want to do is, somebody is really getting you upset. I'm feeling this. It's probably because we're in Aries season. And when we're in that, the way you react to it is what you're going to attract towards you. So when you're reactive to it, you actually attract more. As I said this before and previously, we attract reasons of more negativity, more episodes. We actually tell the universe, I want more negativity. So when you turn the channel, and when I say turn the channel, I just mean, do I choose to be there, or do I choose to just turn my head? As what I always say, and this is another quote that I usually think of all the time, okay? As Jesus said on the cross, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. I'm not preaching to you the Bible or anything like that, but I'm just telling you that the energy of that is so powerful, because when you think about it, you got to look at that person and say, they really don't know what they're doing, because they're just actually turned in because somebody else made them that way. And when I say made them, they can get out of it. But when somebody made them that way, somebody else is, like I said, it works like a cold virus. It's like negative energy, just like positive energy. Just like what I'm doing right now is, I am in a really happy state, and I'm just sending you positive joy and energy with the intention that you do the same, or not. I don't have any expectations, but I'm just spreading some happy fairy dust, positive energy, loving vibes to you, so that it rubs off on you, and so that you can do the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's paying it forward kind of thing. Like, that's how I feel about it. And that's the same way with negative energy, because they became like that, because just like if you've known those violent movies that are on there, they actually rub off on you. It's like when you've seen those zombie movies. I'm just gonna give you like Dawn of the Dead. Do you remember that show? It was back from the 70s, and they were turning other people into zombies over and over and over and over, like just biting them or something, giving them a bite. So that is the way. It's kind of like that. So my whole point is just to put a bulletproof vest. That's what I say. Put that on there. Do whatever you got to do, and trust. Support is everything. Reach out to me if you're having a bad day. Just watch one of my videos, or send me a DM, and just I talk to everybody. I really do. And if I don't answer you guys all right away, send me another one, because it gets lost on my. How many messages I get a day? I get so many, and sometimes it gets lost. So if I didn't answer you, send me another message so I can find it, because sometimes, and there's times that by accident, because I have to accept your message, and there's times that I just press decline by accident. I don't mean to, and I'm like, how did I get that person? How do I get that person back? And I researched Instagram, saying, how do I get that person back? Because I just want you to send me a message. So, I wish Instagram would just send a message, but I have to accept the message. But anyways, it's a long things. Sorry, I didn't want to keep going on to that, but just know that there's ways to come out of it. Do listen to some music. That's another thing. Listening to music, doing all the things that make you feel good. Okay. So anyways, with saying that, I hope that this reading was of help to you. And yeah, and if you're interested in booking a longer session with me, please visit my website, psychicsoulmatereading.com. And until the next video, I wish you peace, blessings, love, and light.